Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Juno in the second house in a natal chart. Now, if you have Juno in the second house in your natal chart, you may wind up requiring or needing a significant other or marriage partner that will help you perhaps increase your self-worth and self-esteem. It could be somebody that you seek that will help you out monetarily and help pay the bills, and really it could be for monetary reasons to some degree. Now, at the same time, remember that you may wind up connecting with somebody that may be in, let's say, like a second house type profession, such as someone working in finance, as a stockbroker, working with cash, somebody that may be a banker, a person that may also work with something connected with value, things of value, in understanding, assessing value, I should say. Now, let's say, as a pawnbroker, for example, could be another possibility. Now, you may find somebody that may help you accumulate resources and tangible assets. At the same time, keep in mind that the second house is about self-worth and self-esteem. And if you find somebody that's rather negative and pessimistic and says a lot of negative derogatory remarks about you, then obviously this could be to your detriment and would obviously diminish your self-worth and self-esteem. Now, keep in mind too that this is a person that you may connect with that where another reason might be to someone's detriment is that you may wind up staying in this relationship, even if it is negative or adverse. Perhaps that has something, I believe, has something to do with the fact that, well, the second house does correspond with the zodiac sign Taurus, and you could have some Taurus-like undercurrents in this description for that reason. So, also, it's imperative, remember, that when you connect with this person, your significant other or marriage partner, that you don't look at him or her as a possession, because this could happen easily, I believe, with this placement. And you may also find somebody, unfortunately, that might try to possess you and look at you as a material, almost like some kind of property or material item, and you may see this person the same way, perhaps. So the thing about this too is that this person may be beneficial to you in terms of the accumulation of material items and possessions. Now, at the same time, it's important to look at the zodiac sign that Juno is in, as that could impact the delineation and description. Now, let's say, for example, that you have Juno in Virgo in your second house in your chart. Now, what could happen is this person that you ultimately connect with might be, on the positive side, might be very punctilious with details and be able to point out things connected with your finances that you may have overlooked. Now, on the negative side, however, it could be a person that might be rather judgmental and critical, whether it's about your finances or what have you, and it might diminish your own self-esteem and self-worth because of that. Now, let's say you have Juno in Libra in your second house in your chart. Now, this could indicate perhaps somebody that could help you balance the budget, so to speak, and a person that really is equitable and fair-minded regarding the financial situation he or she has with you, and things could be split maybe almost exactly down the middle in terms of who spends what on the expenditures for their life and for their home, etc. So it's also important to look at the aspects of any that are made to your Juno placement, as this could impact the description. Now, let's say, for example, that you have, let's say, Saturn. Your natal Saturn is making an adverse aspect to your natal Juno in the second house, and let's say it makes a square, opposition, or even an inconjunct to it. Well, that could be another indicator of somebody that might be bringing your self-esteem down and making you feel rather despondent and negative and pessimistic. And those are those are some things to look at as far as this placement goes. And really, what you have to keep in mind and take into consideration with this is in a lot of instances, you may look for somebody that you feel is going to elevate your self-worth and self-esteem, and a lot of times that can't be done. A lot of times that can only be derived from within in a lot of cases. So if you're doing that for that reason, that's another thing that might make this marriage or this significant other it might be to your detriment ultimately. So, and another thing too is, as far as the second house goes, is really with being as far as the possessive thing goes, especially, if you have if this a person that you connect with, say you wind up becoming overly possessive of this person, and really in looking at this person almost like a possession. Let's say this person has, say, Gemini or Aquarius prominent in his or her chart. That obviously could make it even more of an issue, because those are two signs that really don't like to be really pinned down that much. I think especially Gemini as well. So I think really that's what you got to look at as far as this placement goes. If this is a person, obviously too, that is saying you find somebody that's going to be saying a lot of negative things about you, that obviously will not be good for your self-worth as well. So anyway, in self-esteem matters. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Juno in the second house in a natal chart, and stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about Juno in the third house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.